Hey everybody, James Yeager with Tactical Response. Thanks for watching. One of my Patreon subscribers, if you would like to support the channel, there's a Patreon link below. It's $1 a month. You could do more if you wanted, if you're getting more for your money. Asked about road trips, and I've done some videos where I kind of covered some stuff, and I'm just going to share some. I made a few notes, and then if you guys have a bunch of questions, I'll be glad to follow them up. How specific are your road trips plans? Well, I have kind of 3 modes of travel: family, business, and motorcycle. And the motorcycle trips are the most carefree or unplanned because I want to be able to change on a whim. Family trips and business trips share a lot of commonalities. On the road trips. So I came up as a husband and father, wife and 2 girls. And so P-stops were a thing. And so I was never the dad. It's like, we got to go. I was never that dad, ever. We had to get up early and go. We had to have more time. And, certainly there are exceptions to that rule. But the only time I got mad at my daughters is when we had to stop for them to pee before we left town. And so that was it. But and then I just get used to it, and basically you got to stop about at least every hour, and the thing is, I want to get out of the truck anyway and stretch my legs. So, there's no, I don't know what the race is for some people, especially some dads. I don't know what the race is. I don't know. Is there a stock car race we don't know about? Are we in the cannonball run and we didn't know it? But so one of them is just plenty of time. And if I'm going on a business trip, I typically try to get there a full day in advance, if not at least a half day, but a full day in advance. That way, along the way, if I have any trouble with the vehicle, that's going to at least take you a day to fix. And if not fix, find suitable alternate transportation. So things like on road trips, the only real plans I make, especially when my family's with me, is lodging. And so I suggest you pick a chain of hotels that suits your budget and their availability. Pick one that's readily available. Okay, and I have an app, and most of the time I can schedule it and cancel reservations as long as I do it before 6 p.m. the day of, things like that. But I want to have somewhere to sleep, and so I suggest that the least plan you should make is kind of plot out your day. Don't until you kind of find a rhythm. Don't plan 10,000 miles a day. Be realistic, but you can always change that reservation. But get the new reservation at the new location before you cancel the old reservation, because your family won't want to sleep in the car. Trust me on that. Typically, overall, my planning is not very specific, other than accommodations. Again, with a family, or if I'm doing a business trip, especially if I'm doing a trip where I'm pulling a trailer, I try to stay on interstates. Now, that's not always the case. There's some shortcuts across places, and you guys know, there's these little two-lane highways. However, if fuel consumption is a problem, me pulling the trailer and things like that, I try to stick to the bigger roads. There's also, if your family's with you, more likely that if you have a problem on the side of the road, you can get a wrecker faster, more availability of clean restrooms and restaurants and things like that. So in general, but on the exact opposite on my motorcycle, I try to stay off the interstates. And so I want to see America. America doesn't happen on the interstate. So anyway, what things do you take into consideration while planning? Like, who's going with me, and, if it's a business trip, who's going with me? Who's going to be able to help me drive the vehicle? That doesn't double the amount of miles we can do in a day, but certainly comfortably extends it from, I don't feel like driving more than I can do like 12 hours, not really a big deal, but I don't really want to do more than that. I feel like it's not getting safe. But if I got somebody with me, either that 12 is safer, or we can extend that out. We would take turns taking naps, and we could do 16 pretty easy, taking and swapping up. Matter of fact, that's one of the things, if I got a co-driver, that's one of the things that I know I get to take a nap. And that's one of the few times in my life I get to really take a nap is on road trips with another competent driver. And that does not include Tim. What do you bring? Well, it depends on what's going on. But I have a car kit. If you guys want to kind of see some of the stuff I have in my vehicles, in my home or whatever, below, it's always an Amazon link. And the one that nobody ever looks at is the one that says lifestyle. That has the stuff that make you more comfortable, make your wife love you more. But anyway, there's one for vehicles and stuff. So I always want to keep a real air compressor in the car, like Viair, a plug kit, and jumper cables, things like that. Things I can do myself, like a hole in the tire. You can plug it in literally 5 minutes, or take 20 minutes to change the tire and get dirty and stuff like that, and then you still have a hole. Now you don't have a spare and all that crap. So a plug kit, certainly, stuff like that. Basic tool kit. You don't have to have a whole tool kit, but a couple of wrenches and pliers, duct tape, stuff like that. Gorilla tape is what I have, but stuff like that. Not much. You can fill your car up with spare parts and crap, but some basic stuff. How do you determine places to avoid on the large and small scale? I don't really like if we talk about regular travel. So if I'm traveling west and I'm looking for a hotel, I get a hotel on the west side of town, because typically I'm coming through at night. Traffic's light. I don't want to get my hotel on the east side of town and then fight traffic during rush hour, potentially all the way across town just to get back on the highway. So I will drive to the other side of a major metropolitan area before getting a hotel, so I don't have to fight traffic. Now, if he means as a recent civil unrest, things like that, stay on the interstate, skinny pedal on the right. Check for hot spots. If you should know before you leave if there's a town or area that's a particular hot spot, and it just might, sometimes. Here's the thing: it might just not be safe to go, and you can't just say no when it's your in-laws. You have to say no when it's your people too. So don't make your wife mad at you over it. What do you bring? Just like you guys, I bring a contingency bag. As my friend Pat McNamara says, I carry 2 bags. A get home bag. Sorry. Hey, I'm coming to get you bag, and I'm coming to get you bag. I can't do it with his same tenacity. Any other insight you bring to bear? A phone is not a GPS. So when you run out of data out in the middle of nowhere, you got to have a real GPS. And maps. Every vehicle I have has a current atlas in it. And so when I get a vehicle, I put an atlas in it. So if the vehicle's 4 or 5 years old, it has a 4 or 5 year old atlas in it. Still's got an atlas in it. I don't buy new for the different company vehicles and all. They all have an atlas in them. So there might be a new road on there. There might be something. Big picture is, all the important stuff's there. So your car should have, more than one way to navigate. Like I said, a real GPS. I use my phone. I got Google Connect on my new truck, and I love it. But it does not work for everything. So you got to have a real GPS on hand. If you guys have other questions, I'll do a part 2 of this. But that's really all I had, and I hope I answered all of his questions. I hope I answered everything. Things like Pilot, Flying J Pilot, which is the same company, Love's truck stops are typically the cleanest. They have the best gasoline, best filtration systems, things like that. So I typically try to hit Pilot, Flying J, Love's, or my stops when available. Those are the places I stop for fuel and other things like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else specifically, don't succumb to road rage stuff. Just don't. Just if somebody's acting crazy, pull off the next exit. Wait for them to go. They get back on. Let them go. Just don't play into that. And the left lane is for passing. Okay, we all get that. The left lane's for passing. And so that asshole that won't get over, you've done it too. I've done it. Just kind of start daydreaming and forget to get back over. So just act like it's you on one of the times you forgot, and not some habitual offender that just parks in the fast lane. And here's your hint. If somebody passes you on the right, you're probably being an asshole. So get over. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Don't throw stuff out of your car. Put your kids in car seats. Age appropriate, all that stuff. Drive relatively close to the speed limit. Don't drive sleepy. If you do get sleepy, here's what I tell everybody. If you do get sleepy and you don't have a co-driver, pull over and take a nap somewhere safe. Pull over and take a nap. When you wake up, then drink your coffee, your Monster, your 5-hour energy or whatever. But if you just start getting sleepy, you start hammering 5-hour energies, you won't be safe to drive, and you won't go to sleep. It's so you don't want to be in that position. A 20-minute nap won't put you that far behind. And will make it infinitely safer for you to continue on. So pull over, take a 15-minute, 20-minute nap. Seriously, some coffee, boom, back on the road, and I'm telling you, you'll feel tons better. Don't drive sleepy. It's just as dangerous as driving drunk or under any kind of influence. So don't do that ever. And wherever you're going, just be safe, man. Pay attention to what's going on. If you're driving 70 miles an hour, your car moves about 150 feet a second or something. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it moves a lot really fast. So don't quote me on those numbers. I'm totally talking off the cuff. People look up facts all the time to call me a liar. There's a difference between liar and being just wrong about something. People. James Yeager with Tap Response, reminding you that your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.